Hi, awesome first graders. Happy Guidance Class Day and happy Monday. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. To start out guidance today, we'll do our awesome time. If you're all done with awesome time, go ahead and do the would you rather. And for the would you rather, I want you to get up and move. So ask, would you rather this, stand on this side of the room, or would you rather that, stand on that side of the room? So go ahead and have fun doing that right now. All right, now I want you to please walk to the color zone you're in, and once you get to the color zone you're in, the teacher can pause this video, and then I want you to say out loud what feeling you're feeling. So I got this idea from Mrs. Johnson. It was an awesome idea because sometimes we just say I'm blue zone, but there's a lot of different feelings in the blue zone. Blue zone could be you're bored or sad or tired or sick, right? So I want you to say, when you get to the color, I want you to say what emotion in that color. So you guys can say it if you can go kind of quickly and go around. Otherwise, you can do, you can say it at the same time and just say, I'm feeling, and then whatever emotion you're feeling. So go ahead and have fun doing that right now. All right, welcome back. So I hope we're ready to learn, ready for guidance class. Let's just do a little bit of box breathing to settle in. So put up your hand like this, and we'll breathe in. And then we'll hold our breath and breathe out. And hold your breath. And breathe in through your nose. Hold your breath. And breathe out through your mouth. One more. Good job. All right, this story we're going to start guidance class with is called The Sleep Under. And there's a question for us at the beginning of this story. The question is, have you ever disagreed with your friends about what to do together? So maybe you were playing at recess and you both wanted to play different games, or maybe someone came over for a sleepover and you both wanted to do different things. So I want you to think about a time you've disagreed with a friend. You had a different opinion about what you wanted to do. And while you're thinking about that, I want you to think about, what did you do about this problem? What did you do to solve that problem? Maybe you played both things. Maybe you played your game first and your friend's game second. Or maybe you bossed your friend around and said, no, we're just playing my game. Both of those solve the problem, but they're both not good ways to solve the problem, right? Because if you both get to play your game that you want, then you're solving the problem for both people. But if you only play your game and you boss that person around, then you're solving the problem for you, but not really for the other person, are you? So let's see what happens in this story about solving problems. All right, creepy creatures and ghastly goblins, said Kayla, reading the cover of Gabriel's new book. That's perfect for the sleep under tonight. We can bring flashlights and tell scary stories. Yeah, that's going to be awesome, agreed Gabriel. Just then, Max and his twin sister Maddie came across the school playground to say hello. What are you doing tonight? Max asked. My brother has a baseball game at the park, said Kayla, so we're going to have a sleep under there. Do you want to come too? Don't you mean sleep over? Asked Max. I think it's too dark and chilly to sleep at the park. No, it's a sleep under, explained Gabriel. It's kind of like a sleepover, but it only lasts until bedtime, and then you go home. Max and Maddie thought that sounded like a ton of fun. Okay, said Kayla, meet us at the baseball fields tonight at 6. Wear your pajamas, and don't forget to bring blankets, pillows, and flashlights. The kids could hardly wait for the end of the day. Have you ever done a sleep under? I've never done that. I've never heard of that. It sounds so fun. That evening when Maddie and Max arrived at the park, With their mom, they found Kayla and Gabriel at the baseball fields with their families. "We brought everything you said," Max told them excitedly, "and popcorn, too." "Oh, great," said Kayla. "Let's get going to the treehouse." "Oh, we're going to the treehouse?" asked Max. "I thought we were going to stay here." "Yeah," replied Gabriel, as he picked up his pillow and started walking. "The treehouse is just right over there, and it'll be a lot quieter and more fun." Max glanced at Maddie, but she just shrugged her shoulders and started walking. Max shook his head and gave a big sigh as he followed her. As they walked to the treehouse, Kayla and Gabriel told their friends about the last sleep under that they had there. They hung blankets over the treehouse windows to make it nice and dark so they could play games by a flashlight. What a good idea. "You're being awfully quiet, Maddie," Kayla suddenly noticed. "Oh, I was just thinking about the treehouse," Maddie replied. "I've never been inside there." "Oh, well, then tonight will be even more fun," grinned Kayla. When the kids arrived at the treehouse, Maddie looked nervously at the tall tree. What color zone was she in, you guys? Yellow zone. She was nervous. "You can start taking things up," she told her friends. "I'll stay down here with the rest of our stuff." Max put his hands on his hip and he looked at Maddie, but she just turned away and handed Gabriel the bag of popcorn. Maddie frowned as she watched the kids climb up and down the treehouse ladder with all their things. "Are you coming now?" Gabriel called. I don't want to go up there," thought Maddie, but she just nodded her head. She was too nervous to tell them she didn't want to. As Maddie cautiously walked over to the tall tree, her brother suddenly stepped in front of her. "Do you want me to tell them now?" he asked. Maddie shook her head. "I don't want to ruin the sleep under for everybody," she said. "Maybe I should just ask Mom to take me home." "It's up to you," Max said, "but I think it's okay to say how you feel. What do you guys think? Do you think it's okay to tell her friends how she's feeling?" Yeah, I think as her friends, they'd want to know that she's feeling nervous. "Hey, everything's ready," called Gabriel and Kayla as they climbed down the ladder. Maddie stopped to take a deep breath and finally told her friends how she felt. "I don't want to go up in the treehouse because I don't like being up that high. I don't even like going in the jungle gym at school, and that's a lot shorter than this tree. I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to ruin the sleep under." She looked at her friends. She was so nervous. "What do you guys think? Do you think that they're going to be mad at her?" Her friends just smiled at her. "Next time, just stop and talk to us about it right away," said Gabriel. "I used to be really scared to climb up there, too." "Oh, okay," said Kayla. "So here's the situation. Maddie doesn't want to go in the treehouse, so we need to figure out a solution." The kids talked about going back to watch the baseball game instead, but everyone still really wanted to have the sleep under. What solution do you guys think they could do? Does anyone have an idea? You can pause the video and see. "I have an idea," Kayla said excitedly. "What if we just move the sleep under down here?" The kids thought that was a really good idea. So they hung up some blankets from a low branch on the tree to make a fort. After they piled their pillows inside, it was the perfect spot for a sleep under. The kids read some scary stories from Gabriel's Creepy Creatures book, and then they made up some of their own. Maddie made up a story about being in a haunted treehouse at the top of a very tall tree, and it was pretty scary. "Thanks for changing the sleep under plans for me," Maddie said to her friends. "Sure," Gabriel answered. "It's okay that we disagree sometimes. We figured out a new way to have a sleep under, and this was a lot of fun, too." They were being really good friends to her, weren't they? When their families came over to the treehouse after the baseball game and heard how much fun the kids were having, they decided to set up their own chairs and blankets and join the sleep under. Everyone told stories and ate popcorn until the stars began to shine bright in the sky, and then it was time to go home. They all decided that this had been the best sleep under ever. All right, you guys. Now we're going to practice one for ourselves. So, do you think it's okay? Do you think it's okay to disagree with your friends about things? Of course it is, because we all have similarities and we all have differences, right? We're not all exactly the same, so there are going to be times when we disagree with our friends. That's normal, and that's just fine. The thing that counts is how you disagree. It's how you talk to each other about it, right? So here's what we're going to do to practice. Here's our rules for disagreements. When you disagree with a friend, the first thing you do is you stop. You stop and you calm down. Because if you're angry from a disagreement, you're not going to work on a solution, right? When you're angry, that's hard to think of a solution. When you're angry, that's when people yell or do something that they wish they didn't do or say. So you need to stop and take some deep breaths and get to the green zone so you can think of some solutions. Then you need to talk. Talk it out with that person so you can understand what the problem is. Then think and brainstorm possible solutions. For example, Kelso's choice wheel would be some. And then try a solution and see how it works for everyone. So we're going to stop, talk, think, and try. All right, so here's an example. What if I brought Kelso, my puppet Kelso frog, in to an inside recess with one of your classrooms? And what if 3 people wanted to play with Kelso, but there's only one Kelso? That'd be a problem, wouldn't it? So first we need to stop, because you might get mad if you're trying to play with Kelso and other people are trying to grab Kelso from you. So the first thing to do is stop and calm down. So pause the video right now. What could you do to calm down? All right, good ideas. Then you want to talk. Stop and then talk. Talk about the solution, or talk about the problem so you understand what the problem is. So you could say, the problem is all of us want to play with Kelso, but there's only one Kelso. Then you're going to think and brainstorm possible solutions. You can use Kelso's choice wheel for this, or you can use other possible solutions you think of. So go ahead and pause the video now and brainstorm some solutions for this. Good job. Then you try. You pick one of those and you try it out and see how it works for everybody. So go ahead and pick one right now. Good job. Okay, now your teacher has a piece of paper with different problems on it, and you guys are going to you're going to show the problem and read the problem to all your students, and then you'll try all together the stop, talk, and think, and try, and see how it goes, and then come back to the video. All right, you guys, good job trying out those different ways. So we want to remember to stop and then talk, think, and try. All right, let's remember that. So can you guys say that with me? Stop, talk, think, and try. One more time, let's say it all together. Stop, talk, think, and try. All right, you guys, so what's the first thing you do when you have a problem with someone? I hope you said stop. Good job. What's the second thing you do when you have a problem with someone? Talk. Talk it out. Good job. And then you think of solutions and then you try one. Why is it so important to say the problem out loud in words? What do you think? Why is that important to do, the talk part, saying the problem out loud? Well, sometimes you might not know what the problem is. Like in this story we just read. They didn't know that she was scared of heights. They didn't know she was scared to go in the tree house. So if you don't talk about the problem, sometimes people can't help you brainstorm because they don't know what the problem is. So it's really important to talk about the problem. So don't miss that step. All right, let's say it all together again because we don't want to miss any of these steps. Stop, talk, think, and try. One more time. Stop, talk, think, and try. Air 5, everybody. Good job practicing this today. I hope the next time you have a problem with someone, you can try these things out. Great job. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.